Welcome to Go Lurk Yourself, a podcast about streaming on the internets. My name is Crunky.
And I'm Molly.
Today we're speaking to Molly Fufu. Is that what we'll call you, or just Molly?
You can just call me Molly.
Just call you Molly. Molly is my daughter, and she is 11 years old.
Yes.
And we have recently been playing Nintendo Labo. Isn't that right?
Yep.
What do you think about Nintendo Labo? What's your initial impressions?
I really think it's pretty good. I mean, like, sure, making cardboard stuff may not seem interesting to kids, but eventually when you start doing it and getting involved, it gets really fun. Okay.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So was it last Friday? Today is the 25th, was the time of we're recording this. And on Friday, Nintendo came out with this Nintendo Labo kit. At lunchtime at work, I stopped by a GameStop, and I went in there, and I asked them for one Labo, please. And we got, what was it called?
It was the first one, the Variety Pack.
The Variety Pack, which includes a bunch of smaller things.
Yeah, and the big robot one costs more than the Variety Pack. And it's one big thing, and it did 45 hours of work. I don't really think I'd want that one. And probably even more than that. So
what Molly's referring to is the two different options for Labo. The $70 pack US, which has the Variety Pack, which has a motorcycle, a fishing pole, a piano, and what's the other thing? The RC cars. Is there anything else?
I
think that's it.
What about the little
the toy house? There's like a house thing.
Yeah, the toy house.
Yeah, there's a house. There's like
with the little Tamagotchi thing.
A Tamagotchi kind of mini game in it, yeah. And then there's an $80 package that's the robot.
Yeah.
Which is like a wearable backpack with strings on it that hooks to your hands.
And this little like VR headset looking thing.
Oh, a visor that comes out over your head. Mm-hmm. And we haven't really seen much on it, but the demo showed a kid punching things with his on the screen.
Yeah.
And like basically pretending to be a robot. But we got the Variety Pack, and on Friday we streamed on my Twitch channel. What did we stream?
I think we streamed making the motorbike.
And we did for about 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, and also we didn't finish the motorbike, but we recently got it finished.
Yeah, we didn't finish it on stream because it was just a little bit too long of a project.
Yeah, we also had to eat.
We had to stop and have dinner. What was your impression of making the motorbike after having it done?
Well, I liked having it done. It looked good. I didn't really like the game, but I really just liked the look.
You didn't like the game?
Like, I tried playing it, but I was just really confused.
Well, you were playing the obstacle course, right?
Yeah.
The race is pretty straightforward. Have you tried that?
I haven't really tried it, but I don't really like moving. I just kind of like using the controls like in Mario Kart.
Oh, you like using an analog stick and not necessarily... Yeah. For those of you listening at home, the way that it works is when the bike's done, this thing sits in your lap and you kind of lean it back and forth. The screen sits in the middle of it in between your hands, and it's supposed to be like handlebars.
Yeah.
You can twist the right handlebar, sort of like a motorcycle throttle. It's got a brake lever and a start button. And it basically, if you've played Mario Kart with Mii's on the Wii U or the Switch, that's what it looks like. It looks like a bunch of Mii's on a motorcycle, right?
Yeah, like... Also, what about we can talk about the RC car?
Yeah, that's was
the first thing we built.
You're right. I forgot about that. The RC car was kind of like the get you started project because it was so easy to do.
And also there was the remember the little pocket thing for the Joy-Con control?
Yes, we had to make that first. We have a little cardboard pocket that held the Joy-Con controls. Yeah. So the way these things work is the RC car is literally this little box with legs on it. It looks like what's that plastic toy that looks like that too? It's got the little legs sticking out. It has a name. I can't. It's escaping me now. But the little bug looking game that you saw at like Radio Shack a couple years ago, and they would vibrate and they'd move around. That's basically
those.
This looks almost like an old computer chip with the little legs sticking out of it.
Yeah, and also like instead of moving with wheels, instead it uses vibrations, which really is really cool and something brand new. I can't believe Nintendo has made something revolutionary for technology, and they're selling it cheaper than most consoles.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
So the way it works, if you have a Nintendo Switch, you know how the Joy-Cons come off the side of the Switch device. And this cardboard cutout bug thing, this chip-looking thing, has grooves on it where the Joy-Cons hook to it. And then Molly and I each made one hooked. We had an extra set of Joy-Cons and allowed us to hook both of them up. And we used the gamepad had buttons on it where we could actually have little wars. And there's a mini game where you have to run your little bug creatures into each other and knock them down. And these are physical things on a table. We did this live on stream. And the little mini game on the gamepad or on the Switch screen itself had a bell to start like a match, and the controls, and we pushed the little push buttons, and our cars went at each other. And when one got knocked over, the system detected that it got knocked over and declared one of them the winner.
Yeah, and it was like. and also, we customized it. You can use like stickers if you get the customization kit, which costed $10.
Yeah, one of my not smartest moves ever. I bought the Nintendo Labo customization kit to do a full review, and I thought Molly would enjoy it. It came with some Mario and Nintendo themed stickers.
Yeah,
it had
tape.
Some like colorful decorative tape. But what were all the characters on those stickers? They had
like Mario,
Peach, and Bowser, and they had
Splatoon.
They had a lot more than I thought. Some stuff I didn't recognize. Animal Crossing stickers, yeah. And we played that for a while. And when you first turn on the Nintendo Labo software that comes with it, because not only does it come with the cardboard, and it came with quite a bit of cardboard.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing itself, the box that it came in is roughly 2 foot by 1.5 feet wide. I mean, 24 inches by weight, but maybe 20 inches tall. It's a pretty hefty piece of. Yeah. How many pieces of cardboard were in it?
There were like 25.
Probably,
I guess 25 to 30.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good call.
So, what about we should talk about the different things. Like first, let's talk about make.
Okay, that's what I was getting to. There's 3 modes when you boot up the software. What are those modes called?
Make, play, and discover.
And okay, so the first one it tells you to go into is what?
Make.
Okay, and what does that do? I don't remember.
It allows you to make things. It gives you instructions to make the Nintendo Labo stuff.
Yeah, and if you've, as a father of a child here in the room, I've actually spent some time looking at and teaching her how to do Lego instructions and being diligent about it. I think the neatest thing about the Labo instructions are that they're animated. And
yeah, they're 3D. You can actually kind of look around it, which is really amazing.
They're fully rendered because not only are they animated, you can watch the folds, but you can actually spin around and look at it from different angles.
It's like 3D. And one thing I'm used to Lego instructions, which is you gotta look at one angle and then you get it wrong. You're like, no. But in Nintendo, you can look back, or you can even just look 3D. It's really cool.
Yeah, you can rewind the instructions if you missed a step or you're not sure you got it right.
I think Nintendo took a page out of Lego's book, but then improved on it.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. So that's the make aspect of the software. It has really detailed instructions with funny little jokes, and then it automatically links into, at the end of each make, it links to the next area.
Yeah, which is rockets off.
To what? When you have your section complete, it breaks it off into some things depending on how
little dance.
And how complicated the moves are, or how complicated the builds are. It'll break it off into sections, and each time you get a section done, it takes off with a little animation and a rocket.
2, 1. But also, one thing I want to say about this is that Lego should probably copy up Nintendo do some 3D making thing. It'd be much easier to build something with that.
I think Lego has some animated stuff online, they have some builder software, but I had never seen it before, so this is definitely really good.
Yeah, much better. Good job, Nintendo. Good job.
The next section of it is presumably, if you have all of your pieces put together, you can go to the section. What is it called? Play. Yes, and it's basically the menu. It's got this little neat isometric map menu of all the different game modes broken out into the device types.
Little binders or little things. And you can just kind of click on one. It kind of has a little animation, which is kind of cute. It's very
cutesy, very kid friendly. I mean,
definitely.
all the navigation's pretty smart laid out. And this is where you go into, for example, the motorcycle game, which fair play. We've only built 2 of these because they take a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, but they're pretty fun.
Yeah, we built the motorcycle one, and there you can go to the obstacle course, which the obstacle course has. Collect balloons. It has perform stunts. It has all these different.
And there's also the creator, but we can't really figure out how that works.
Well, we haven't really spent a whole lot of time on it. The creator mode, lets you make your own obstacle courses, lets you make your own objectives within a race. Then there's a straight up race mode where you race against bots.
Yeah, and there's a stadium, which is just kind of big, fancy.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Mario Kart, like the Wario Stadium with like different cups.
Yeah, so I think the important...
And they even have the 200cc things.
Yes, they do. I think the important thing to note here is how robust the system is, or robust the game is. Just for the motorcycle game, there's a lot to do. Once you have the thing done, you don't just race Mario Kart style. There's tons of things to play, tons of things to do, and we haven't even opened it all yet. There were some additional things we could build, little single motorcycles and radar guns, and I think you have to at least as far as we could tell after looking at it last night, you have to unlock those game modes by completing objectives within the game, because we couldn't figure out how to get to them. And I think I read online you have to open them up by beating like single player mode. So we definitely have that to look forward to. And then we've also got to build the piano, the toy house, and with the variety kit. Once you have all these things built, all you have to do to switch between them is move your Joy-Cons and the Nintendo Switch screen. Yeah, it
like
comes
really
out.
Slick.
Yeah, real slick. It pops in there, and it uses these. The mechanics of it uses rubber bands. It uses strings. It uses little cardboard and little like stickers with felt on them as like a cushion.
Not felt. It's more like flashy things. Actually, we could use this to move on to the next thing, like about Discover.
Okay,
so haven't really seen much about Discover.
Well, let's tell them that this is the third option when you boot up the software.
This is the third
There's
option.
a thing called Discover, which Molly looked into last night. I don't know nothing about it. So tell me about how Discover works.
Okay, well, Discover, you learn about how things work. Last night I was learning about how Joy-Cons work, and I learned about how the gyro thing works. And
like literally inside the Joy-Con?
Yeah, you can actually use this little thing called Check It Out, and you can like move the thing. You can see what's made inside the Joy-Con.
So there's a little animated video inside the software that shows you how the Joy-Cons work? Well,
it's like really cool, and they also like give you lessons, just like these characters you'll meet, and it's like really interesting.
Now I just saw a little bit of it. It looked like a text chat message.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like texting to someone, but you're actually learning things.
So they're telling you about how the Joy-Con works.
Yeah.
Do they mention anything more about Labo and how to make your own Labo there?
It doesn't really tell you much about how to make a Labo. It does mention things like the motorbike, but it mostly, it gives you lessons on things like the motorbike, actually. And one thing, though, it tells you how they do it and the magic of how certain things work. Like, for example, the Joy-Cons, I learned a lot about that all last night. I wanted to learn about how the HD rumble feature works, but I gotta finish some other lessons.
Okay.
It's like really cool, and I really like watching and learning.
Did you have any idea of how far into the Discovery thing you got?
I've gotten pretty far.
Well, you played it for like an hour, maybe?
Yeah, no, maybe like 30 minutes.
30 minutes? And did it give you any kind of index to show you how far along you were?
It did kind of give you, like each time you go through a lesson, it'll, like, give you, like, this little metal thing.
Okay.
With like a little light bulb on
like
it.
Like an achievement?
Yeah, kind of like an achievement, but it's more like medals.
Was there a count of how many total there were?
Yeah, it actually gives you a count. And at the end, if you get all the medals, I saw there was a little thing, and I wasn't really sure what it was. I haven't unlocked it yet. But I think after you get all the medals, you can unlock it.
Okay.
And I really want to check it out, so that's why I wanted to continue doing Discover today.
You're still going to do some Discovery later on tonight, right?
Yeah, probably later as soon as we're done with this.
Okay. Well, maybe after we're done with the whole pack, we'll have a follow-up episode, either a separate episode, or I'll record this part now and then another part later, and we'll talk about it once we're done and we've had some more time with it.
Yeah, so it'll be kind of like episode 2, or maybe add-on episode, kind of like
bonus episode.
Bonus, or maybe we should just start a whole series talking about Labo.
So, just before we close up shop here, we wanted to keep this one pretty short. What would you say the best thing about Nintendo Labo is to you?
Probably the best thing is, well, I don't know. I mean, I really love the Discover options, since I can learn, but I love making the things, too.
Yeah.
Like the process, and I really love how they do it. I just really like the make and Discover. It's just both. They're both really good. And I really like decorating. Like, I decorated my creation. It took me a while, but I really loved it.
Yeah, you did that on stream. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those were all really fun.
So, do you like making the Discovery, or making them your own?
Yeah, and discovering what's behind it. It's, like, really interesting to me.
So, think back before you had the Labo, like last week when you were looking at commercials and hearing about it. What was your first impression when you first saw that Nintendo was doing this? What did you think?
I was like, ooh, this sounds really cool and high-techy. But then it was like $70 for cardboard. But I was like, well, Dad, if you're going to get this, I hope it's totally worth it. And it was.
If it's Dad's $70, it's worth it, right?
Well, no, I mean, like, I was like, you're going to spend $70 on this? I was like really surprised.
So, from the adult perspective in the room, what I can tell you is, when they first announced it, I looked at it, I'm like, well, that's definitely a Nintendo thing to do. Nintendo doesn't, you never see what they're going to do coming. It's always a surprise. And it's always, wait, what? And the first thing I thought of was, oh my gosh, the internet's going to have a field day with this.
But also, Nintendo's actually already done this before. Like, back when they were a toy company, which you all didn't know, but before that, they were in a card company. They made these little, like, things you could make, and they were like really cool. I learned
the paper
about
mache.
It. So it's Nintendo has not gone insane. No, it's actually really cool too. I mean, how can you use a second controller and make it work with cardboard? I mean, that's not very much possible until now.
No one thought that was a good idea until Nintendo thought of it, right?
Yeah, because they were the ones who were messing with cardboard. So they used to be a toy company.
So back to what I was saying about as a parent looking at this, I thought, well, I think I talked to you about it. I go, what do you think about this? And you said, oh, it looks really cool. Because I was like, I'm never going to get that. And then when Molly says, Dad, I think that might be fun. I thought, well, you know what? Maybe we'll get that and we'll do that together. Like when we build Legos. We built a Millennium Falcon out of Legos. I ruined it. You didn't ruin it. You played with it. That's what toys are for. It's okay to play with them.
Yeah.
But so I thought better of it. I called GameStop like the day before and I go, hey, can I pre-order one of these Nintendo Labos? Is it too late? And it was like the week that they came out, I asked if I could pre-order it. And they said, yeah, we still have some. So here you go. And I went in there. I went in on last Friday to pick them up around noon. And they had already called me and said, hey, your Labo's here. Do you want to come pick it up? I said, sure. So I go in there and it's the day God of War came out. It's the day. And I know they had an event the night before to give God of War away. They had like a 9 p.m. on Thursday night thing. So when Friday came, I thought, well, I'll go in there. And I go in there and pick up Labo, and there's nobody in the whole store. Nobody except for the one person working there. I go, have you guys sold through your pre-orders yet? She goes, no, you're the only one who pre-ordered it. And nobody's bought one yet.
Wow.
And it was like noon. They've been open for 2 hours. And normally on a release day, if people want it, they come in early. So it was not a good sign that it was popular. And I don't think it will be popular with you're over 20 you're over 18 gamer.
Yeah, like I mean, I know like God of War came out and there was no one there. I guess like people probably already got it the night before.
Yeah, that was my bet. Or got it when they opened at 10. But do you think this thing will be more fun for kids or adults or parents with kids?
Probably parents with kids because they can enjoy doing something with their kids.
Yeah.
They like parents, I bet, love watching their kids have fun.
Yeah, I had fun. I had fun building it with you.
Yeah, so...
And then we got kind of fussy when it got close to dinner time because we've been doing it for 3 hours. So we both did. We were like, we need to take a break. So you would recommend...
I would recommend...
You would recommend Labo? Who would you recommend it to?
I'd probably recommend it to people who have kids or people who really are curious and want to see it.
Yeah. I would too. I would recommend it to anyone who has like a childlike wonder about Legos. If you like building things, when we streamed it, we had maybe 10, 15 people watching.
Also, it's just complicated enough for adults to get something out of it.
Yeah, and the thing that kept coming up in chat over and over again while we were building it was, this is oddly compelling and satisfying to watch you put the little flaps and the little grooves and close it and lock it all up because
and also like the video is satisfying. It's like and like this it just kind of bounces around. It's really interesting.
Yeah, the little animated videos show the things folding together. And it's really neat.
It's really nice.
Well, Molly, I really appreciate you being here. For those of you guys who would like to check Molly out, she sometimes takes over my stream. What kind of games do you play on my stream?
I've played Spore twice, and we did Labo. That's really it.
What other games would you like to stream?
I probably want to stream Pikmin.
Pikmin, okay.
The first game I ever played was Pikmin 2.
Yeah, I remember. You were like
Wii.
4.
like the Wii was already getting old at that time.
Yeah, the Wii was born the same year you were.
Yeah, I'm very young.
Well, thank you for being here, Molly.
Yep. And also, one last note: there's a dog older than me.
Oh, there's a dog.
Yeah, there's a dog
house.
older than me. I just wanted to say something random, so I said that.
Is there anybody you want to shout out?
I'm going to shout out the Sunny D because she's my mom.
Okay, you can see her where?
You can see her
Twitch.tv/TheSunnyD, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.